So these two are doing some world-changing kind of work, and nobody knows who they are. And it's going to be my job to try and change that in 90 days. Check this out. So there's a couple I know from church. They are Shannon and Ash, and they are phenomenal. They lead a nonprofit called Alabaster International. Truth be told, I didn't know that when I first met them. They were just incredible people, very joyful. Like, they just make you feel at ease. Shannon is a nurse practitioner, and Ash is a chef, and his food is incredible. I've experienced it. And Shannon is just full of joy, and she just really loves people, and she puts you at ease. It's phenomenal. Well, I had started hearing them talk about that they were doing some traveling, and then there was a nonprofit, and it was just kind of out in the ether. And then I asked them exactly what that all meant, and I started pressing them on that kind of stuff. And as the more I pushed, the more I realized that they're doing the real thing. They're doing work. They're creating schools. They're sponsoring schools. They're doing a cross-border work that's feeding people in both Kenya and Ethiopia, which is a really wild thing. And they're working with kids in South Sudan, which is not sexy. That's one of the hardest places in the world right now to be and do work, and never mind trying to raise money for it. So it's a pretty wild thing. They're doing world-class work, and they don't have a lot of tools behind it, and they're criminally underfunded. Criminally. Because I asked them, I said, hey, so as we kind of get into it a little bit, I start, okay, you're doing some neat work. Cool. This is pretty wild. You're in 4 different countries. You're in a couple different continents. What are we talking about here? They had done some work. There was a typhoon in Sri Lanka. That's where they're both from. They went back and brought a whole bunch of tools to help people there. And actually, as I talk to you, that's where they are right now, which is a wild thing. So I've just been around enough nonprofits. My name's Dan. I'm a fixer. I'm a consultant with nonprofits. I use the story to help nonprofits connect their story with donors. And I've raised hundreds of millions of dollars over the last couple of decades. So these people, they've been doing an incredible job, but they've not been very... they're super legit. That was the other part. But I said, okay, so what are we talking about in terms of your annual budget? And they said $300,000. And honestly, $300,000 is such a small amount of money. I know it's a lot of money for you and me, but honestly, that's nothing, especially when you're talking about cross-cultural work, international work. That's not a lot. Your average nonprofit in America, if they have one person, if they just got started, their annual budget is usually about $150,000. So they're double that, and there's 2 of them, and most of that money is going internationally. It's not they don't live in their lavish cars, some sort of huge house here in LA. They are just, honestly, they throw so much money into their work. It's actually a little criminal. So in the conversation I was having that with them, I thought, if we could get you guys to $500,000, that would really make a big difference. And it would, because most grants or most foundations don't want to talk to nonprofits that are under $500,000. And the reason for that is they want to get a good bang for their buck, good return. They want to know that the money that they're using and they're throwing or they're giving to these agencies, that it's going out and it's connecting with the right people. And they have to report back on it. It's like the whole process. So there's this gap. It's $200,000. And I thought, man, if we could do that, that would make such a big difference. Now, here's some other stats on them. This organization is called Alabaster International. They have been tagged a couple times by the Clinton Global Initiative for the work that they're doing, which organizations about 10 times the size of them would love that kind of distinction. So they're doing incredible things. And I'm going to show you the whole thing. I've always wanted a nonprofit that let me in and show what's going to work. Now, the thing is, though, this is really risky. This is probably one of the riskier things I've ever done with my career, and this could blow up in my face. And I'm not too excited about that, but I thought, I just have faith in a lot of people that we could probably make this happen. And so I'm trying by August to raise this $200,000. Now, my whole job here is to not make it prettier. So what I'm going to try and do is just tell you what we're doing, and I'm not trying to fake any kind of drama. I just want you to see what's happening and how people are really doing this. If you've never started a nonprofit, this might be interesting to you, but if you're just into like the clock is ticking and I've got to raise $200,000 by August 1st. So we're going to see what we can do on this work that is absolutely impossible to ignore. So do me a favor, follow along, go find Alabaster International, follow them, because we're going to be putting things out and you'll get to see both what I'm talking about, but both what they're doing. So follow me, and I'm going to put this as a part one kind of thing as our first episode, but the next episode, I'm going to show you everything that we're doing, the machine that we're building, and you can check it out. So thanks so much. Check you next time.